frustration of mine. I think the polar opposite extremes. You know what I'm saying? Of like, yo, it's all about the gospel, period. And if you don't say you're a Christian rapper in your Instagram bio, you don't love Jesus, right? There's that extreme, and then there's...
Salute, this is Eshawn Burgundy.
Get your hand out my pocket.
With the Trackstarz.
What's going on? You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, SEANTANA, DJ Jeremiah. What's good?
All right, that's a new drop for you.
Yeah, man. So
we in the field.
we got Ruslan in the building.
Hey, Indy Jones 2 available everywhere.
Go get that.
Go get that. Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, KingsDreamENT.com. We got God Always playlist by DJ Michael featuring What Up RG, Jet Trouble, Derek Minor, John Keith.
Okay. Do you write this out or is it a freestyle? Right?
This is off the top.
That's dope.
It's off the top. Trackstarz, ATL. Man, it came out yesterday, and I came here to be with you guys.
That's amazing.
Right now.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Man. Yeah. So how does it feel, man? How does it feel?
It feels amazing.
The day of the project.
Amazing. It's the day after.
The day after. Amazing. People are absorbing it. How you getting feedback? You getting feedback?
I'm getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
You know, the goal was to make great music that has replay value, and that was what we did.
I think you
did. I learned a lot in the last year about songwriting, putting together records that people like. You know, even the timing of a record. Like this record's 35 minutes. I made it so that people could do it, get through the whole record in a workout or in a drive. Most people commute 30 minutes. So it's very focused. And I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot from guys like Jet and Ryan being around and John Keith. And there's a lot of really talented people around, man. So yeah, I've learned a lot and it's fun. It's like, this is the funnest record I've ever made. Funnest release I've ever had.
That's great.
Most stress-free, just enjoyable thing ever. So yeah.
That's amazing. So what's your favorite song?
Which since, you know, Cold Flow,
of course.
Back Against the Wall,
of course.
You know, Like That, you know.
Yeah.
All the beats Ryan Vetter did. All the the whole record is dope. Yeah, the Cold Flow joint is dope.
I like the joint with Keyshawn too, man.
Keyshawn, a Hyena joint.
Yeah, I like
that. Ryan Vetter. Yeah, it was good, man.
That's exciting, man. So let's talk about, there's a lot's happened since you've been here.
A lot of big news coming out your camp.
What's been going on?
A lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of things. No, good stuff. So we signed Jet Trouble.
Yeah.
Warm Park came out. That did amazing for us. Jet Trouble. Who does not do...
Get that money.
Get the bag. Secure the bag. Baby. Jet does not do interviews, but he came to hang out.
For all who are wondering, Jet is sitting to our right.
That's why we're talking about him.
He's also 6'12".
He's very tall
and a half
and lean, and he could wear just about anything, and it looks really cool.
He's got the body of a professional water polo player.
The Mexican leprechaun.
Slenderman.
We just signed John Keith.
Yeah,
he's amazing. He's probably one of the most raw talents I've ever seen. Dude's been singing, rapping, dancing. He's hilarious. He's just a raw talent, and he produces a little bit. So he's just very, very talented. So he's amazing. So we signed him, announced that. He's on a single with Derek Minor, of course.
Okay.
Belief retired, as you guys know. Right. So Fatherhood came out in May. That did incredible.
Yes.
Really good on the charts and all that stuff. Indy Jones 1 came out. Warren Park came out. Man, 2020, was that 17? 2017 was a good year. It was like a rebuilding year for us, for sure.
Okay, so I do see the rebuilding. Are you taking this as like a challenge? I heard it on a couple of the songs, like people may have been doubting you, you know, that whole thing. Is this like a personal... Is it a vendetta? Like, are you angry?
Yeah,
or is
absolutely. Absolutely. I make the music sound angry because I have a chip on my shoulder. I probably have a few.
Okay.
Seen too many cats switch up around the time I finally got a view.
Wow. Wow. No. If you think that he's talking about you, he probably is.
I'm probably... No, I think, you know, with... John Gibbs moving on, there was a lot of just like talking and like, well, there that goes, you know? And it was like, man, how my contribution to Dream Junkies, my contribution to everything that happened pre-2017, I think is evident now. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, you know, whenever people attach your identity to somebody else, it's just you don't like that very much. You know? So I think I had something to prove to myself above all else.
Okay,
you know, and I think I did that.
Is there I don't want to assume anything, but is there any like animosity between the people that aren't around?
I mean, animosity is a strong word, but you know, like we're not communicating.
Close, right?
You know what I mean? But it's like
Is there any
that
festering feelings?
belief is my best friend. You know what I'm saying? My wife is close friends with John's sister, so it's like it's family. You know what I mean? We're not working together. We're not doing business together. You know what I mean? Animosity is a strong word. I wouldn't say animosity.
It's just a partner ways.
Yeah.
Give it up one time for political correctness.
I'm trying to see where we're going today. I'm trying to see where we're going.
Yeah, so you brought some people with you today. This is a big stop for you.
Atlanta is a big home. Like it's a home away from home. I'm always with Swift. What Up RG?
Yeah.
You know, blessing the one of the singles we're shooting a video for it, connected with him through Indie Tribe and all that, and just watching his moves. Obviously DJ Michael holding me down for, man, he was at the first Stream Junkie show we did here like 4 years ago.
Right.
Little jit, boy. Yo, I've been in it for a minute, low key, bro.
Yeah. So like every time I come to Atlanta, there's so many people I'm trying to catch up with, and I'm trying to hang out with, and it's, you know what I mean, it's tough. And so I just appreciate cats being around. We got Swift, who's just like the comedian above me. I have no idea what he's talking about.
He's the official bodyguard for the city. Like anywhere you want to go, he can get you there and get you home safe.
You really gonna put me at bodyguard status?
I mean, you dressed in all black. You dressed in all
I'm the one
black.
that takes the L for the team.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
You just keep us all safe. I just say it like that.
Yeah, man. Andy Jones 2 out everywhere now.
Andy Jones 2 available.
Andy
everywhere.
Jones 2.
So I
available.
want to read your mind a little bit, because I've seen you grow as an artist over the years, and I've seen you take that personal challenge. Some of the what I heard you talking about on the record was people's perception of you. It seems like that's what's big on your mind, about being. I heard you mention being arrogant, people thinking you're too straightforward. Is that something you hear a lot? Is that something you're
I'm
with?
from the former Soviet Union, and so we don't do small talk.
Yeah.
We don't
No small talk.
We don't do small talk. We don't do not with small talk. That was good. We don't do small talk. We don't beat around the bush. We're very direct people.
Yeah.
If we think something you said is stupid, we're gonna tell you to your face that was stupid. You know? And so sometimes that can come off arrogant, and that could come off blunt, and that can come off harsh. But I think the flip side of that is that I'm honest, and I'm truthful, and I'm gracious. And so some of that, you know, but I think there's a cultural disconnect when people meet me in a certain context. And I'm very direct, I'm very straight to the point, you know, and American culture isn't. It's very surface, it's very casual, it's very like, so how is the weather in Atlanta, guys? You know, like
tongue in cheek.
What? Yeah, it's like tongue in, you know, and I'm just not that. Like, I want to get to the point. I want to see where someone's at. I want to hear where someone's heart is. But I think one thing you can't say about me, and very few people can say about me, is that I'm a standoffish dude, or that I'm not personable, or not. I don't care about people. You know, I deeply care for people. I deeply care about music and where the culture is going and all these things. So yeah.
So what's leading me to is you're kind of the media guy now. You comment on other people's albums now. You're doing reviews. Is that a challenge, being an artist and also kind of being looked at as an outlet as well?
No,
it's not.
No.
Okay, so you have no qualms about saying the truth, and then
no, why not? Why not? Because we're so politically correct about so many different things, and there's so many things that we talk about behind the scenes, but everybody is afraid to say because of the looks, because of the It's like, I don't care. I don't need favors from people. You know, like, I don't need a feature.
Come on, somebody.
You know, I don't need the look. I don't need to go on tour with you. I'm good. I'm doing my own thing over here. And if my fans legitimately ask, like, my fans are saying, what do you think about this?
Right.
This is what I think about this.
Do you think there's anything that could mess up your brand?
Mess up my brand.
Or change the brand? And
Man,
I don't like the word.
We don't care about no brand.
No, I don't like the word brand.
Okay.
Like my reputation. My
okay.
reputation is more based on how people personally interact with me and how I treat people. My brand is subjective to momentum and timing and perception.
Okay.
Right? If I'm doing a record with a certain person, I'm doing a show, I got a certain look on Instagram. That's the perception of my brand, right? So your brand is gonna change with different things. This man Jet is wild. With different things, my reputation is rock solid.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Anybody that knows me, that's been around me, that knows my family, been in my crib, spent time with me, like, my reputation's unshakable. My brand is, that's You know what I mean? What's hot at the moment, you know, what's popping. So I could really care less about a personal brand. My reputation is what matters.
But speaking of brand, though, I think what was obvious is that no matter who was around you, the work you put into the King's Dream brand, whatever you want to call that, was solid.
Oh yeah,
because you were able to switch people out and it still works. So speak a little bit about that, because it seems like the strength is the business side, is the work behind the scenes side. People see you when you get on you know, on mic and in your videos and things like that, but a lot of people don't know how to do the stuff behind the scenes. And it seems like you've been sharing that knowledge too.
There's no secrets no more. Like there's no secrets. Like we gotta be, those of us that have been around the R Swifts, the guys like you, the DJ Michaels, everybody has some level of influence and insight. So why are we hiding? Why are we keeping secrets from people? Like tell people what's up. Like, yo, put out music, put out good, very good, great, consistent music, and the needle will move. You know what I mean? It's not rocket science, but we try to like masquerade it. You know, so with King's Dream, I've always had vision, and I always can spot talent. I can spot talent a mile away, years before everybody else is onto it. You know what I mean? And come around it, affirm it, encourage them, pull the best out before everybody else sees it. You know, when this is, I promise you, this would be the thing with John Keith. Like, he's like, who's John Keith? Who's John Keith? We all know because we've been up on the music. You know, but I could see it 6 months, a year out. I've always had the vision. I'm learning how to build culture. Because culture will always swallow vision. If you got a loose culture and you got a culture where people aren't affirming, we're not positive, we don't believe the best about each other, we're loose with our gossip, right? You have a loose culture, it'll always swallow up and eat your vision, right? But I've had the vision, I didn't know how to, and so I was doing a lot of like delegating. Well, I'm not the best mixer, so I'm gonna delegate mixing. I'm not the best producer, I'm gonna delegate production. And with Indie Jones 2, I really railed it into, yo, I'm gonna get back to producing. And then Ryan, I would show stuff to Ryan, and Ryan would be like, yo, this stuff is really good. I'll show up to Jen, like, yo, this stuff, Belief will come around. Yo, this is like really, I'm like, yeah, you think this is good? I had to get that confidence, but it was other people, other producers telling me like, bro, like, you're nice, you know? And so coming full circle, I'm producing. I did 3 beats on Indie Jones by myself, and then co-produced pretty much every other track besides Hyena and Back Against the Wall, which Ryan did by himself. Full circle, right? Coming full circle back to production, back to mixing, and really talent stacking. You know what I mean? And I think that gives me the edge now, is that I'm understanding culture and I'm understanding how to execute and not just have great vision, but execution, building culture and teams, empowering people, letting people do their thing and flourish.
Wow,
that's what's up. And I feel like I have it sounds to me like whenever you make moves, I'm like thinking about it with what I have to do, because it's similar. It's like you have to kind of be the vision guy and make sure it all works the right way, but you also have to get dirty and make beats and perform and do all that kind of stuff. And I imagine that's hard, especially when you start, you know, putting it back on yourself and making beats. How are you managing the roles? Because you said you delegated before and you started taking some of it back. Did your life get more stressful? How you managed that?
I was delegating when I was working a job. When you're working a job, it's tough to do everything, right? And be good at everything. But when I'm not working a job, I could do a day. So now how it looks is like Tuesdays is YouTube and video day. All we do is YouTube and video content. And I'm trying to structure where I come in and I just mix for a day. And then I come in on another day, I just do production. I come in on another day, I just do music. I come in on another day, I just do booking and admin. And I'm trying to plan out my days like that, you know what I mean? And that's proving to be more efficient, because if you lock yourself in a room and you make 4 or 5 beats in a day, you're just gonna get better. You know what I mean? You start mixing, you're gonna get better. And so I think that I'm like really focused spurts of energy, and then now that I don't have to work a job, I have more time, so I can focus on those things.
And I've seen you identify new talent. I've seen you do that. What is it that you see in people? Like, because I see you surrounding yourself with good stuff, right? What are you looking for? What is the thing that catches your attention?
I think it's a combination of raw talent, work ethic, and personality, grind. You know, like DJ Michael, I met him 4 years ago. He wasn't probably the greatest DJ, I don't even know, but there was his personality was like, yo, he's a hustler. Back then. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna work. And so I'm sure there was people back then that will write you off. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Come on.
But we maintained a relationship, and now it's like I'm on the cover of his Spotify playlist. That's an amazing look for me. I'm very grateful for that. You know what I mean? But I didn't write him off because I saw the spark 4 years ago. And there's a rapport that we have. You know what I'm saying? What up, RG? I think anybody who hears What up, RG, the moment you hear his voice, you're like, yo, this dude is a star. You know what I'm saying? The charisma, the look, the aesthetic, the confidence, it's right there. And then you hear him speak interpersonally, and you're like, he's an amazing kid. Like, he's a great kid who loves the Lord. He's humble. He has his posts on culture. He's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so you spot these things. That's a fact, right? And you spot these things. When I first heard him on the joint with Lauren, I think that was the first joint. What was that joint? Slums Part 2 or Slums Part 1?
Slums.
Indy Jones 2.
Yeah, you just know it, you know. And so it's like, instead of me being some like high and mighty dude, the moment I see it, I follow him on Instagram, shoot him a DM. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, great job. This is amazing. Yo, you killed this joint. You know. And so I think everybody's so guarded with compliments, and everybody's so guarded with affirmation. Like, for what? Like, if somebody's great, tell them they're great. Tell them they're great, because we're all walking around here insecure in our own heads, right? Thinking that we're not good, or we're not this, or we're not that. And it's like, yo, like, I think affirmation, genuine affirmation, not just like blowing smoke, but genuinely like, yo, this is good. Like, you have something. I think that is key in speaking that. And so I don't think it's hard. I just think, I tend to, Belief would always say this to me. He'd be like, yo, like, sometimes you see people in their glorified heavenly state, and that's the gift and the curse. Because I could see somebody for what they can be and not what they are right now. You know what I mean?
You know what I was thinking while I was listening to the album? Why do you spend so much time in this genre? Why do you spend so much time on this genre? Feels like you're almost like cultivating it. Spending time, Christian hip hop, whatever you want to call it.
Do you love us?
Spending time with people, and like, why? I don't even know how to ask this right. Have you ever thought of just doing this, like, without the Christian hip hop genre, and just trying your hand in creating like something different? Because it sounded like for a little while that you guys were kind of making your own thing. You know,
it's definitely.
Why do you spend so much time? What's the value you see in this thing?
Well, one, I think you cannot deny the community side of it, right? Like, whether Christian hip hop is a genre or a community, that's to me, that's neither here nor there. To me, it's more of the community. So the communal side is dope. Like, I've known Swift for 10 years. You know, probably longer than that. It's been mad long. You know. Dang, we grown. I like that. We grown and wise.
We super grown.
Yeah, I've known him for 10 years. We have a real friendship. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
11?
Yeah.
Wow. I was 11.
Were you alive when Tupac died?
No.
I was born the year.
Wow.
It's over.
It's messed up the whole interview.
You ruined it.
But to answer your question,
I'm out.
there's a value in the community side. You cannot deny that. Two, I'm a Christian. And there's certain things that before I'm an artist or a Christian rapper or a hip hop artist, like, there's certain things that I, as a Christian, have to do, and I have to make my worldview evident with everybody. So I'm gonna talk about Jesus, right? However people classify that. And I think it just is what it is, you know? And I think I was just having a conversation with somebody about this. You don't go mainstream, and you don't get out of a subgenre by running from it. You go mainstream by outgrowing it and evolving. Right? So like Lecrae outgrew this micro tribe or genre that we have. He outgrew it. That's beautiful. We should champion that. We should celebrate that. Now, whether how they label themselves is neither here nor there, but he outgrew it. That's how you do it. You don't say, I'm not a Christian rapper. I'm not a Christian rapper. I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, this is not even something I think about. I see value in the community. I see value in Trackstarz. I see value on Rapzilla. I see value in these different outlets. I see value in talking about Jesus and making fly, dope music. But I make music for everybody. And so my branding is not such, because I make music for everybody. Majority of the people that are booking me are not Christians. The majority of shows I do are college shows. So you're not gonna see that in my bio. I'm not on a crusade for Christian rap per se, but I'm very embracing of the community, because I think it's a beautiful thing we have. I think most people, like, here's how I can define it. All my non-Christian friends think that Christian hip hop is the flyest thing ever.
Really?
right? If you talk to the Merzes, if you talk to the Merzes, if you talk to the Curtis, to the Curtis King. What's up, fellas? Yo, what's up, Double? You talk to the Merzes, you talk to the Curtis Kings, dudes that are not in Christian hip hop. Curtis King's a Christian, but he's not a part of the community. And they think what we have is the dopest thing ever.
Really?
They go to the shows and they're like, yo, this is at a church?
Yeah.
Nobody's drunk? Nobody's getting punched in the face?
Yeah.
Y'all don't know what you have.
Really?
Y'all don't know what you but everybody in Christian hip hop is trying to run away.
Yeah,
I'm not a Christian. Like, yo, I just don't care. You cannot say that what we have is not special.
It is.
You know? And if you have any experience outside, real experience outside, I've opened up for Murs at the House of Blues, sold out 1,000 people, and been like, yo, this is hard. You know what I mean? Like, and had to work through and win a crowd over. Anybody that's had experience in that world will tell you, like, when they look over here, they're like, yo, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Not because I'm a millionaire, mind you,
Right.
because I'm not doing that well. You know what I mean? Like we're doing okay. We're figuring out by the grace of God, but just because the community is special and beautiful. And so I'm Christian rapper Christian. Like, that's a dead discussion.
Yeah.
I'm a Christian who loves Jesus. I love hip hop, and I make music for everybody.
That's good.
So you must get frustrated though with the genre, because your style, your personality is a little different than I would say the normal Christian hip hop crowd. What are some of your frustrations? So I know you probably get frustrated with us because we're kind of nice to these artists. What, like, because I know you would rather us be like, yo, the joint sucks.
Facts.
Right? Because do you think that we're holding back?
When will that happen? I mean, I know it's gonna happen at some point.
So we
gonna flip the interview on Trackstarz.
Yeah.
When y'all gonna start telling these dudes the truth?
No.
I don't think it's.
I mean,
I don't
right
think
now,
it's-
is it a thing where you feel like when you listen to somebody's record and you give your critique, like you think that it's respectable to not go in if you really not feeling it?
So truth of the matter is, right, when we do get those things, like I started listening to stuff in my DM on my Twitter and on my Facebook, right? And it was completely different. And so when we do get those things, right, when we do get those songs, we do email them back.
Okay.
And say, hey, work on production. Hey, work on this. But that's a service that we offer. We got a studio across the hall that allows you to come in and get this stuff fixed. You know, you can send it to Sean, and Sean will edit it on the fly. And so we do try to encourage them before we discourage them, because we've had people say, hey, the feedback you gave me caused me to put the mic down. Wow. And I was like, wow, like that's really strong.
That's a personal issue.
Good decision.
Yeah.
Like I feel like when you critique somebody, first of all, I think like that honesty, even if it's brutal honesty, it comes from a place of love, right? Because if I love you, I'm gonna be 100 with you, right? So if your song sucks and I tell you, like, your song, I might not say your song sucks, but I am gonna say it's not. Well, I will, but like if I'm on the radio, I'm not gonna be like, yes. Well, I might, but they ain't talking about me. We're talking about y'all.
First of all, we tell them, we say we have a relationship with our Swift, and we can get you as close to perfect as possible.
Back to Ruslan. Let's get no, but really though, like Double and I used to be on this team called Destinations.
Shout out to Double, looking icy, looking so
Double's
fresh,
in the house.
so fresh, so clean.
Sean is ducking all the questions. Go ahead, Sean.
Double know how we do. Like in that room, we were brutally honest, right? Like if your piece was whack, we told you it was whack. But the goal was to build you up. So some of what we talk about, this is my personality, some of it, and we tell people the truth on the show sometimes. But the goal is that I see the best in people too, like you do. But what I've seen leading that team Destinations was, if you tell somebody what to do to make it better versus telling them how bad it is what they did, that's good. I usually see better results from them. So that's what I think my frustration, that's one of them, is definitely like, I don't think we keep it a buck with people, and there's a lot of kids that either don't know what they're doing or don't know how to get better. Nobody's telling them. So that's why I even do the things I do through the superphone and my live streams. Again, it's about adding value. So I think keeping it a buck with people, I think that's a frustration of mine.
I think the polar opposite extremes, you know what I'm saying? Of like, yo, it's all about the gospel, period. And if you don't say you're a Christian rapper in your Instagram bio, you don't love Jesus, right? There's that extreme, and then there's the extreme where we've completely erased the line and we're co-signing Future and we're listening to whatever and anything goes and anything, it's a vibe. He talking about popping Molly and you know, assaulting women. It's a vibe. Like, no, bro, that's not cool. That's not of the Lord.
It's a
Let's
charge.
not listen to that. Let's not co-sign that. Let's not put that on our stories. Let's not promote that. You know what I mean? My issue is there's a other extreme, and I'm probably at fault for some of this or responsible for some of this. People look at, saw Dream Junkies and thought like, oh, they're so edgy and they're so cool. I mean, it's cool to listen to whatever. And I'm like, no, bro. Like, I don't ride around listening to gun, kill, shoot, Molly, Percocet music. Like, that's not the soundtrack of my life. You know what I mean? And I think there's that extreme where now anything goes and it's cool to rock with anything. And I'm like, that's not cool either. So I think like we're always in this polarizing state. And I'm like, you know, whenever you're in the middle, you know, you're trying to find balance, you get caught up in the middle. And I've always felt that way. Because back in the day when Swift was with Cross Movement, I did a joint with Swift. And you know what I mean? Trying to reach out to cats from Cross Movement and then having some ton of rats on the record. And now it's like, it's just the polar opposite.
I was a lot different than Cross Movement.
Come on. Oh. Don't this be the segment that we record and put up.
Wait. Come on.
Signed to Cross Movement.
Now, come on now. I'm talking.
You were different.
Come on. I was different. Yeah, I mean, even. You're about to make
I remember this argument. I remember this argument. So back when the argument was happening between the tunnel rat theology and the cross movement theology,
there's no
what
such
was you
thing
saying?
as a cross movement theology or a tunnel rats theology.
Okay.
They don't make up theology. They have philosophies and the way they like to do things.
All right. Well, so how were you handling that debate? Because it was pretty serious.
He was one of the brothers reaching out, and
he
like,
was trying to bridge.
Because
that's
a lot of the stuff the Tunnel Rats was doing was stuff that me and my brother Ack been doing for years in Philly. Like, you know, the secular ciphers, opening up for Jill Scott, opening up for like different secular groups, and like Philly was cross movement town. Yeah, and so like we used to get looked at like, what in the world are y'all doing? Like, I've had conversations with cross movement about that and was on the opposite side. So like, and like I got told specifically, like there was one brother that I met with Tunnel Rats, and we just so happened to do a show together. And I went back to Philly, and I was like, yo, man, I met the brother from Tunnel Rats. Like, he's mad cool. Like, we exchanged numbers, man. I really like this dude. And they was like, don't talk to me. And I was just like, what? And I was just like, all right, this is beyond right now. Like, you know what I mean? But nah, it's like people have their own philosophies. And my whole thing was, I got to do what I feel called to do. And I've always felt pulled back into that mainstream world, and I've done it, and I've done churches, I've done clubs the same night, you know what I mean? So it's like, whatever I feel called to do, I gotta do regardless of who thinks that's cool or who.
But aren't y'all tired of this fight though? I mean, it's been going on for a long time. Like, when is it gonna be like just a consistent message from
never?
Because I mean,
never.
Like okay, so
we're too petty.
What do you mean?
I just since I heard of Christian hip hop, I've been hearing about this idea challenge between cross movement style versus the tunnel rat style, and then what happened? Really? Oh, so you young. So then it evolved into, you know, the beef between the new Reach movement and then the guys from, what was it, Lamp Mode or whatever, right? So it's always been like this tug. And I'm like, man, when are we gonna stop doing that? It's just frustrating to me.
It's all arrogance. That's all it is. It's all arrogance on both sides. It could be arrogance. Like, the bottom root of it all is I feel like my way is the way or better than what you're doing. And I think that's self-centeredness. It's not about like the Lord. It's about how I view things and how my philosophy lines up. And I think that's crap.
I personally think after everything happened last year, I think we're in a good space right now. I feel like the music that's coming out, what you guys have been working on, I've been seeing a lot of bridges being built between people I didn't know knew each other, talking and coming to the studio together. I didn't even know y'all knew each other. So it's, to me, I'm seeing growth. I'm seeing good stuff going on, and the work that I remember telling Michael, like, grab all these young kids and make sure y'all stick together.
Man, that was a great conversation.
Yeah, I see Ruslan reaching out to the next generation. That used to not happen. The fact that you're actually reaching into the new generation trying to find talent, that used to not happen. It used to be, yo, this is our thing. You got to work to get in here.
I was around when it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
That sucked. We had a poor view of the OGs. It was like, that was like what? Like, I think the era was like, what, 2003? From like 2003 to like 2011, 2012. That was when I was going on. I was like, if you're not with We Live as Kings, we not cool with you. If you're not with Reach, we're not cool with you. If you're not with XYZ, we're not cool with you. And if any of these people don't connect, then we can't be cool with you. And that was always lame to me. I'm like, man, how am I ever gonna get a chance if nobody wants to open up? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the work I see you doing, like, it matters. Like, when we notice it, like, man, they're really reaching out. Every time we do something, Swift is reaching out to everybody. They know all the new cats. Like, that means a lot. And I think it's gonna launch us into a new space that's gonna be real positive for what we're trying to do.
I think like
talk that talk. Talk that talk, OG.
A little cloth talk. No, but like, I feel like we need each other. Like, we do need each other.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, when you got these young brothers that got this fire, this vigor, this energy, they need older brothers who walked that path before, who can speak that wisdom and say, look, brother, I've been where you trying to go, so let me just help you out a little bit. And we also need our younger brothers to give us the fire. Facts. Yeah. Because we don't been in the industry and on tours and in and out, and we don't experience everything you could experience in as far as the music business. And sometimes we get worn out. We like, man, forget this. But you got that young brother next to you, like, no, we can still, like, that ambition, like that optimism.
The ambition or that culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the dudes, the older cats that have been around, undervalue how much youth culture means.
Yeah, absolutely.
From just a fly, dope music standpoint. And so if you're you know, if you've been around like me and Swift, and you're trying to make music and you're so detached from culture, your music is gonna sound like it, you know. And so it's mutually beneficial.
Absolutely.
Young dudes get the wisdom, and then I'm like, yo, I'm soaking up the game. I'm soaking up the swag. What are y'all listening to? Show me, what's the artwork look like? What's the colors? What's the textures? How does
they teaching me how to deal with Spotify right now. I don't know nothing about this.
And so I think it's reciprocal. I think, and all good things are reciprocal, are they not? Like, they're mutually beneficial.
And I think you guys are even ahead of the curve as far as mainstream, because I think they're still having trouble with adapting a new sound, understanding what the kids are doing. You know, like, I think you guys are showing the way for everybody, because I think it's gonna work. I think what Michael is doing, the fact that you're identifying talent, I feel good about where this is going. As of this year.
I personally like Michael, man.
Oh yeah, Michael's dope.
My brother came a long way. A long way.
It's crazy, man. Like, just thinking about it, because like, he was telling a story about, oh yeah, like, people, you know what I mean, like, I have to like spit and game. That's basically what he did. Like, when I first moved to Atlanta, Swift was the first person that took me under his wing. And let me tell you, man, whoever is watching or listening, and you fresh in the game and you feel like the world's against you, it's not, man. You just gotta take your bumps, bro. You have to take your bumps and bruises. We all can't come into the game like, bow, we do everything perfect. Relationships, communicating, doing things, like, nah, man. Like, I done said things that I said from my heart of like, yo, I'm trying to learn, and people took it like, yo, why you so thirsty? I'm like, what do you I'm trying to like get where you at. How are you gonna close that door? And then, but then I got Swift. Like, everybody needs a Swift, or somebody that's above them as far as knowledge. It's like, yo, you good, bro. You do you, work hard, and we gonna get there. Just chill out.
And there's a difference between being hungry and being thirsty. I think we should encourage people who are hungry and hustling. I don't think we should just call that thirst if somebody's trying to get on.
Well, how can you tell the difference when you see a young cat coming up and you could tell it's like, I just want to be famous, I just want to make some money? how do you weed that out? Or if you still work with them, how do you steer them?
It's conversations.
Relationship.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that comes down to like discipleship and relationship, man. Just to really see where somebody's heart is at.
Yeah,
It's a fact.
when we first got on the scene, it was hard for us. It was like, I remember going to our first Flavor Fest and nobody talked to us. And we were just like, hey, you know, and then when we finally got backstage by somebody who had backstage credentials, they let us set up and talk to some of the artists and things like that. But it still wasn't conversational. It was us asking a bunch of questions. Now we have conversations with people. And I make it a point, we all make it a point to try to go up and look everybody in the eye and handshake and get to know somebody so that they don't feel like, oh, I just bumped into the Trackstarz and they didn't say anything to me. You know, I hate that feeling because we had that feeling on us.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's hard. It's hard, man, because a lot of these artists like have never, like, a lot of these artists wanted to be successful in the world and didn't get there. And so when you're in Christian hip hop and you kind of get a little taste of what it feels like to get popular, a lot, and I think that's what having an old head or a OG in your corner works, because it's like a lot of these dudes get a little bit of sprinkle and have no idea how to deal with it. I'm talking about like head blown through the roof. And so it's like, to me, there's nothing worse than like a cocky rapper who like thinks he's God's gift to the world but has nothing. And it's just like, well, who are you? But like a lot of cats act like that, man. Like you just get you a little and like they become untouchable. So like yeah, you gotta have people that's gonna hone you in, man.
So I know you're probably like 10 steps ahead of Indy Jones, but what's on the horizon for you? Like what's the master plan?
Indy Jones 2 in
Indy
stores
Jones 2 in
right
stores everywhere right now. All streaming platforms. Go add that to your playlist on
now.
Spotify.
Indy Jones 2.
Indy Jones 2. Now we got John Keith next. That record is about halfway done being mixed, and we're waiting on a couple features. What up, RG? We got some features that we waiting on, and then we got.
I'm on that joint too, on John Keith's new record. I do an 8-bar verse at the end. It's cool though.
Jet Trouble was in the studio. He played me some records today that
I'm on his record too.
Man.
him and Ryan been cooking.
Man.
Hey
Yeah.
Jet, that joint that we did, crazy.
How does all this come together? How do you decide, like, I'm going to the city, I'm just going to tell a bunch of people to let's meet up, let's politic, let's fellowship? Like, why do you do this? What's it so important to you?
Jet and Ryan were already gonna be in Atlanta,
Okay.
and I was like, I want to go.
Okay.
So,
What's up?
so I
Simple
came.
as that.
That's what's up. This
Yeah.
isn't a city by city thing that you do.
Nah, this is like, and then I'm like, oh, Trackstarz.
Yeah.
I haven't been here in a minute.
Yeah.
I don't do a bunch of press intentionally.
Okay.
You know, everybody's trying to get you on their Anchor podcast right now, and the whole time, right? So like, yo, I'm just gonna do like Trackstarz.
Yeah.
You know, probably Rapzilla and Wado, and that's it. You know,
Yeah.
and I was like, yo, this would be great. Swift, Michael, you know, everybody's here, so it's like, might as well, yes, might as well. And then I'm always thinking like, okay, every time as an artist you try and go do a tour and you're like, yo, everybody come buy my ticket and come pay to see me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, like I'm coming to see y'all. Like let's kick it. You know what I mean? Let's get to know each other. Let's build. How could I help?
Yeah.
You know? And I'm trying. Everything has been about taking this artist mentality of I'm on a pedestal, I'm a rock star, and flipping it upside down on its head, doing something unexpected than what people are used to.
Yeah.
And I think that's my heart. Is I'd rather show you than tell you.
Yeah.
You know, instead of saying like, guys, I'm a humble servant. Like, like let me just come and serve and love people and hang out and treat people well. And I think it's not super deep. Like it's just that.
When you do this, do you get hit up by fans that say, I just want to come meet you and just say hello, shake your hand, and say what's up?
Yeah.
And you're open to that?
Yeah, why
That's
not?
what's up.
Yeah, we was in Times Square and a dude was like, yo, I heard you in town. Pulled up for like 5 minutes with his family and bounced, you know? And we was doing like a circle and like workshops. It was cool, like, cause it's just so spontaneous and organic. It's just like, what's the vibe? What's the need? And so we just roll with it, man. So it's not super deep. It's really saying where's the need?
Yeah.
And outside of asking people to do something for me, what can I do for them? And if I could sit and give them 20 minutes of my time or an hour or 2 hours, however long these things go, why not?
Yeah.
You know? And so that's what we're gonna do tonight. We're gonna kick it. We're gonna meet everybody, chop it up.
So if I'm a new artist, I see you signing people. How do I get on? What do I need to do?
Work hard.
Like how does somebody get your attention? Like what's it take to be a part of King's
What's
Dream?
frustrating too? What are the dudes in the
Send all inquiries to Ryan Vetter Music at Gmail. Is that your real email?
Ruslan,
I think I just
DM
gave away.
Ruslan. Hit him in his DMs. That's how you get put on.
It's a $500 submission fee. You can PayPal him. I'm very easily accessible. You know, like I'm not like some unattainable dude. I check. Here's what they shouldn't do. They shouldn't just DM me a link. Like don't do that.
Yeah.
Yo, I hate that, boy.
Right? Just a link. Just a link.
Yeah, I found some fire though.
Not like a high fire, like a high emoji.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just a link.
At least give me the fake small talk. At least
It's some
give me the
small
fake
talk. You know, I think just what are you saying over there?
I said DM the link.
Oh, DM the link.
DM the link.
I think just reaching out, just saying hello, you know what I mean? Coming to something like this would definitely differentiate you
Find
from
out where
another
you're gonna
person.
be.
Yeah. Pull up, get to know me, chop it up, hang out. A lot of times the dynamic may not be suitable for what I'm trying to do, meaning that like, if I'm talking to my homegirl Charlene Nash in Toronto, like she's in Toronto, that may not make sense for me to work with a female in Toronto. I've never done a girl R&B artist, but I love her music. I love her. So she's coming to visit, right? That may not make sense for us to work together, but that doesn't mean she can't come around, kick it, make records, whatever I could do to help her. And maybe I pitch her to somebody else. Maybe I pitch her to another label. Maybe I put her on a song on the first single of Indie Jones 2. Available everywhere. Wrong time from Indie Jones 2. You know what I mean? Like I think it's more so the relationship and building those things versus like trying to figure out how can you get on, because my criteria is so limited. Like Jet moved from Texas to San Diego for 6 months so that we could work together. You know what I mean? Like dropped it.
Yo,
like,
where y'all getting these bags from? You over here traveling? You over like
You
like
get a lot of people
Let me
moving
get a
out there to
small
see
loan of
you.
$1 million.
That's what we're leading up to with these questions. How are you making this work?
Jet has a sponsorship by El Chapo.
Oh,
Wow.
Drug man. No, that's a joke. That's a joke. No, man. I mean, if somebody wants something bad enough, they'll figure it out. You know what I mean? And Jet saved up some money and moved to Cali, and we hung out and made an album together. And then Ryan came a couple times, mixed it, and
Simple as that.
that was it.
So I'm trying to figure out where this is going, man. Like I'm trying to figure out where your head is at. What does this look like to you in 10 years? Is this Def Jam? Is it Sony? Like what is this? Or is it? Or are you just day by day in this?
I think those are variables that you can't control. Like that's like saying like, oh man, like 18-year-old kid or 16-year-old kid, like you want to be LeBron in 10 years? Like, well, like there's so many variables there that are like the genetics, the timing, where he's born, the people around him, the coaches, the facilities available to him. Like there's so many variables that you don't have control of a lot of times. So
that's good.
I want to do the very best with what I can do. And if that means partnering with whoever, you know what I mean, then I'm open to that. If that means staying completely independent, if that means one artist going on to a major label, I'm flexible. I'm not married to anyone. So everybody got to be independent. That's my heart, because I don't want to be taken advantage of. But I'm flexible to whatever people want to do, and so there's different paths for different people. And I could focus on the day to day. I could focus on my desire to make great music, put on great artists, be a loving, kind, gentle person that reflects Jesus in what I do, and that's it. The rest of it, like I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I might. Kanye might see a video tomorrow and tweet it and promote it, and that goes viral, and then that changes everything. You know what I mean? Like you don't control those types of things. You don't control those variables. But I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna let the Lord figure out the rest, and keep doing my best.
I'm talking about King's Dream becoming the Def Jam, the Sony.
I'm saying like that takes millions
Okay.
and millions and millions of dollars to level up to something like that.
Okay.
Right? To even like if we've been paying attention to where RMG has gotten to.
Yeah.
Or let's say Reach Records. Like Reach Records has been around for 15 years.
Yeah.
Reach Records is not Def Jam. RMG is not Def Jam, but they've had some looks and some opportunities, and they've leveled up and they've done some amazing things.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to learn. You know what I mean? Like I'm watching, I'm learning. I'm like, I'm a student. First and foremost. So you can't control whether something becomes a Def Jam. Yeah, in a perfect world, like man, I got my vision board. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, like,
what's the desire? I guess is what I'm looking
the
for.
desire is
Best it can
everything, man.
Okay.
I'm very ambitious, but I don't know. You know, the desire is like, yeah, like in a perfect world, that would be amazing.
Okay.
You know, to be a sub label or whatever, but you can't control those types of things.
Now we know what to pray for. That's all I need to know.
In Jesus'
That's
name.
all I need to know.
Somebody.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, Indy Jones 2.
Indy Jones 2.
Available now. Spotify,
Jones 2,
iTunes, everywhere.
Indeed.
Go get it, man.
Go get it. Yo, shout out to R Swift,
Indy Jones 2 in stores now.
DJ Michael,
Yo.
What Up RG,
Wow.
Jet Trouble, Ryan
Wow.
Vetter, and Trackstarz. Double in the house.
Double.
So many amazing,
Sherrod.
beautiful people in the
Sherrod
house.
Whiteness.
Clean ears in the building. That's what's up.
Hey, yeah. But yeah, thank you guys, man.
Oh, absolutely,
man.
man.
Appreciate
Thanks for
you.
coming through. Anytime, sir.
Thanks for setting
Indeed.
this up.
All right, man. Let's get back into it. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Wright, SEANTANA, DJ Jeremiah.
Hey guys, Miracle here. Thanks so much for watching the show. Make sure you go below, subscribe, like, click the bell. Oh, and go to our website because that's important. And be sure to follow us on all forms of social media and tell everyone you know about us. Okay? Thanks. See you next time.
Know not what we doing. Screw that, they know, let them have it, do it. Okay, I'm erratic, prove it. Never mind, got a mind that'll wind up with me in a lineup behind bars with these bars. Okay, my time's up.
Team Freedom.
Yeah.
We not through yet.
All right.
Trackstarz Music presents.
Turn my volume up, turn me off.